Righty then. What is going on there, kings and queens and everyone between? It's your boy MFC back at you with yet another video. Yeah, of yet the most exquisite podcast you've ever heard, known as Clout.WAV. But as you know, we don't do this alone. You know, we got the greatest co-host in the history of history. Subtle Fraudulence, how you doing, buddy? You doing all right, man?
I'm doing okay. I'm feeling pretty good. I finished a project I was working on, and I found out that there's one thing that's not working, and now I'm gonna probably take forever doing it. Besides that, I'm doing all right. Seeing that the FGC is ablaze over some Street Fighter shit that's not gonna be relevant in like
4 days. Literally 4 days.
I was gonna give him like a couple of months. I was gonna give him until Street Fighter 6, but
you know, Evo ends on Sunday. 4 days.
Evo ends on Sunday,
and if they ain't got it solved by then, well, the next thing you're gonna see is we'll settle it in Street Fighter 6. Like that's it. That game is on its way out, and that's just life. But speaking of getting things out and out of the way, so. I don't know about you guys, but some of you may have wanted to get a nice, delicious fried sandwich with all the fixings. You got your fried pork chops, your fried chicken, or if you're a little bit healthier, you want to get them grilled chops, grilled chicken, beautiful bread, all types of condiments everywhere, but it needs something. It needs a little bit of kick, it needs a little bit of sauce. Well, don't you worry, because with a few easy payments of $14.99 to your nearest TikTok social media revenue stream, you can put Pepto-Bismol on your sandwich. And that's still probably a healthier option than pink barbecue sauce. Like, how did we get here? How did this future become the current day societal norm? Would you like to explain that to me? Like, I just don't understand how we got here. We could have circumvented it. We could have stopped this. But Mr. Fraudulence, tell me, how did we get here?
I don't know. Look, there's this theory. There's a theory that the internet is making people dumber, right?
Oh boy.
I think
the super highway to the idiocracy.
I think it's not, that black and white. There's some steps in between, and unfortunately it's more effective on the generation that's grown up their entire lives with the internet and things that trend on the internet. So like when you got people who see this video of somebody eating something and they're like, they're making that seem like it's real good. I'm trying to get some of that too. If everybody else is saying it's good, I want some of that myself. Now, me personally, I saw the pink sauce, man. I saw the videos of people eating the pink sauce that were supposed to be like, yeah, this shit is busting right now. And I was like, that is awful. That looks disgusting. I don't want anything pink on my food.
There's the thing.
That means it tastes like Pepto-Bismol or shit.
If people are eating something on something that is trying to get me to spend my money, you got to understand. Those people are in the loop. That's why they were chosen. Also, if I was, a social media marketer and, we give our sauce to 300 people and 16 people like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. 5 people like, oh my God, this is pretty decent, pretty solid. I like it. And then the rest of the 250 plus are like, guess what? You're never going to see. You ain't never going to see any of the cuts where we get someone going, gagging, saying, oh my God, this is, you're never going to see it. And if you never see it, and all I show is people going, oh my God, this is so good. And then I show somebody coming out there and say, what's going on, guys? I'm Chef P, and this is everything that you need to know about the pink sauce. Scrumptious. Of course, you're going to be like, well, if they like it, there's a good chance that I'll like it. Because let's be honest, there are people out here who eat honey-covered fried cucumbers. That is a thing that people eat. And I know your head's baffled about it. You're like, well, why the hell would you do that? So people in the South have found a way to fry ice cream. Look it up. There's actually a such thing as fried ice cream. If they could fry cotton candy, they do it too. And what my point is you may be like, what? I don't understand. That sounds like a crazy idea. And you may eat it and be like, blah, 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 and you're throwing up like you're part of a Rick and Morty gag. But
Speaking
If
of
I
that,
could,
real quick, Rick and Morty coming back for a new season, September 4th. September 4th, Rick and Morty.
yeah, you're right. 5 weeks from now. Oh wait, hold on, wait a minute. What's the date? 28th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, ain't Harley Quinn dropped today?
It sure did. And I watched the
Yeah,
first episode.
I got something to do after this podcast. Yes, sir. I got something to look forward to. Oh man, this. It's about tonight. You know, tonight is looking up. The stocks are up. But getting back on track, the pink barbecue sauce in and of itself, let's just say baseline, it does taste pretty decent. And you know what? I will go as far to be naive enough to say, I believe that the people that chef cooks it for, who she can reach out and put a hand on their shoulder and touch, I believe that they genuinely believe that sauce is good. Genuinely, I'll believe it. You know what I don't believe? When you ship this food item out that is filled with very perishable ingredients, and you're selling it during the summer to people around the country who's living in areas, especially in the north with the heat wave going on, who are living in areas where their low is 80 degrees, and you're selling this sauce that is better refrigerated in paper containers in non-refrigerated vehicles. I don't know if any of you guys have ever had, like, I don't know, something you bought from the grocery that needs to be refrigerated or worse, frozen. And somehow you didn't see it, you forgot about it, you left it in your car, and you come back the next day. It is in shambles. You might as well throw it away. It is of no use to you anymore.
You know what? Now that I think about it, do we think that not the gig economy, but like, do we think that this is like because of things like, you know, Etsy and like, you know, because of how easier it is for people to sell things online, like sell their own things online? Is that why, you know, the idea, the concept of buying some random sauce from some random person who does not have a business set up that you're like buying it through, it's just them, and they're just like shipping it to you? Why this concept seemed so like comfortable to all those people as opposed to what it really is, which is weird, which is like you should not trust some random person who's just records a video. It's like, yo, this is what I have in my place, and I put this on everything. You want some? I'll send some to you. Pay me some money, and I'll send it to you right now. Business LLC. I don't represent any of that. You know, my name is John, and I have this sauce. And it's,
what do you mean the
if you want it-
nutritional facts darn even look like they're photoshopped onto the bottle?
Yo, actually, y'all, don't pay attention to the nutritional facts that are on the bottle. It's actually, the serving size is actually wrong. So
Bro, she was literally mailing these things and they were blowing up in the mail in these little paper boxes, getting filled with mold and mildew and all types of contaminants.
What was that? I think it was an Instagram live or TikTok live where she was just like, the FDA. This ain't got nothing to do with medications. What FDA approved? What do you? This has nothing to do with medications. Why?
And
Why would it have to be FDA approved?
It's like, no, you talking about the DA? There's an F in there. What you think the F stand for?
Yeah,
Freaknik? Like
the fucking drug.
The fucking drug association. Yeah, hey, maybe. But like, even if you push all that to the side, right? There's the thing that you touched on earlier where you're like, hey, is this a problem? Do we need to work? Look, the influencer to monetary purchase pipeline is one step. Monkey see, monkey do. It's instantaneous because you got to understand, there are people who bought this, they didn't even know if it was going to be terrible. It's much like a lot of those movie critics who will tell you that the MCU is in shambles, it sucks, they hate every MCU movie, MCU movies are garbage. But what do they need to do to have content for their YouTube channels? They have to continue watching them.
Yep.
So, much like a lot of influencers, they knew that if they bought the pink sauce and tried it out, that's content. There are games that are literally designed to sell to people just so they can make content. Don't believe me? There is a game that came out about being a cat.
Yep.
If you telling me that game was not streamer bait, you're crazy. And that's not to say that all streamer bait games are bad. They're not. But there are definitely a lot of games that were just made so streamers could play them, get angry, make content, and would easily turn a profit. If you don't believe me, I want you to check a game out called, by your boy Bennett Foddy's Getting Over It. That was not a
Yeah.
game that was just designed for fun and shits and giggles. That was a game specifically designed to cultivate an audience by getting streamers to play it, getting angry, challenging themselves, and rage quitting. That's literally the entire marketing strategy behind that game.
That was the same guy who made a QWERTY, wasn't it? Or
Oh, you
no?
mean Quap?
QWOP. There we go.
I'm not sure. Yep, he did Quap. Shout out to Bennett Foddy.
Yep, it has the same kind of like engine for those games too. You start moving, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh my god, what's happening to my arms?" And that's it. That's the appeal.
Game sucks, man. This game cheated. And it's like the appeal is to get your PewDiePies, Mudahars, KSIs, and people of that nature to play your game. Be like, oh my god, it's crazy. Because it's not like a game out unless you're going to be like one of those people who are out of their mind and they're going to speed run these games. None of these games are specifically designed for replayability to keep you coming back in, day in, day out, and continuing to grind. It's just there are if you go on the Steam Marketplace right now, you can find plenty of games that are like $4.99 that are designed for you to download, play once, get mad at, and be like, this shit sucks, and uninstall it, and you lost money. And some of these prices, not just $4.99, $15.99, $29.99. You guys know the grift when you see it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys know. Actually, do you know how much Getting Over It costs right now? Like, if you wanted to buy it right now.
Let me pull up the Steam.
Because it's $8. No, I know. I was genuinely asking.
Okay.
I knew what the answer was. But it's $8. Like, these are not games that were supposed to be, put on the same level as, an Apex Legends, an Elden Ring, things of that,
But as you say this, people are so mad at AAA games that these are the games that are really doing it for the community, it seems. The general gaming community, as some would say, or the gamers. 'Cause Lord knows how many AAA games were hyped up and then given to us, and they were just doo-doo. Everyone wants everything to be
What's going
Elden
on,
Ring.
guys? Here, it's your boy, Halo Infinite.
Yeah, yep. There we go. That's the one.
Can you believe that No Man's Sky has actually found a way to outlast the entirety of the Confederacy? Confederacy had a good 4.5 years, and here comes No Man's Sky trickling into year 7.
Yeah, that's right. So stop worshiping the Confederacy.
I don't understand. I don't understand how racists can support a thing that's been getting smoked by No Man's Sky. That's crazy.
Because it's their the rights or whatever to be free and freedom. Even though
I mean, being on pack watch can be a choice, I guess. I suppose that is a thing that I could say is believable in some way, I guess. But it also is what it is situation. But
Look.
how do you feel about the fact that you can be so ignorant, not even knowing anything about the FDA, not knowing about you have to get food items approved, not even knowing that you're liable for people's health and safety for selling a food product, that if they get it and something goes wrong in the shipping process, it still falls on you because you didn't refrigerate it. You didn't mind your P's and Q's, cross your T's, dot your I's. You didn't do your due diligence in making sure that these things are being delivered in a way that is both safe and minimalizes risks and health issues that could occur, or pathogens or contamination. Because the way that she's alleging that she's shipping this stuff, it's probably sitting right there next to somebody's PlayStation 4. It's probably underneath somebody's sex toy collection. It's underneath somebody's deck of playing cards in the hot sauna USPS 5-day shipping truck.
Oh no, and you said USPS? Oh no, that's even worse too. They get that 10 days after you ordered it and whatnot, and 10 days after it's supposed to be there.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
This is probably I guarantee. Okay, I can't guarantee, but I am not doubting that if you get that sauce as it was made from her, and you go over to their house, I guarantee you. I'm not saying the sauce is great, but I guarantee you'd be like, "Huh, this is interesting." But when you have anything, like, would you buy milk if you knew it wasn't coming on a refrigerated truck? It was going to be bagged and it was going to be sent to you via USPS
Of course not.
during the summer?
The hottest summer, by the way.
You will get that milk and you drink it. You turn into the Incredible Hulk, or you're going to see Jesus. Those are the only two options.
You're definitely going to see Jesus. Like, there would have to be some kind of chemicals in there that turns you into the Hulk, and that just becomes a plot of iZombie right there. So
Your best friend, you about to have an intimate relationship with the toilet. That's what you about to have. And then either you're going to shit your head off, or you're going to be like, be a stinky, and you're going to just start throwing the toilet. And then at that point, we got to just start praying for our own well-being, because that milk problem has now become an us problem.
Yep.
But the fact that, she's liable to be a victim of a lawsuit if this keeps pushing forward. Now, granted, it's been recalled. She says she's going to stop. She's going to go back to the drawing board. But here's the thing. Money been made.
Yeah, but that money won't get taken back. It was very fast because she'll get sued.
Right?
Like, she'll get sued, and that money will definitely get taken back, and more for sure. So you can't fuck around with shit like this. Like, if you're gonna do something, don't do it half-ass. You know what I mean? But also, maybe this is a lesson that a lot of people need to learn, to not just believe the hype, and make sure that you check who you're getting this shit from. Check who you're depending on, because they might just be stupid. We don't really respect people being stupid anymore, because everyone wants to be smart. Everyone wants to sound smart. And so
everyone wants to sound smart. People are not putting in the conscious effort to be smart. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah.
See, they don't want to be smart. They want to be perceived as smart. That's what
exactly.
It is.
Which is worse. At least, like, if they want to be smart, they'll have the pursuit of knowledge on their side. But like, just being perceived as smart means that they are not going to learn any lessons from any of the things that happen, and they're just gonna continue to do things that are going to harm others. They're going to
find every other choke point within there and call that the scapegoat, because they're not going to blame themselves. Accountability's at an all-time low. I mean, we know what it is. Like, we all know the vibes. We've all seen it. But there have been plenty of products that have been pushed on TikTok that people have been, going to great lengths, so to speak, like the self-defense keychain that was being pushed over there,
or VR clothes.
Yeah, have you seen the Now, this was a commercial. I think this was an actual product that somebody was making, like, P's and Q's, actual, like, group of people putting something. But have you seen the shower head that's supposed to remove all chemicals and pathogens from your water? And it's got the little purifying rocks in it and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
There was a shower head that did that. There was a hard seltzer company that was made by a content creator. I mean, how was it? Not too long ago, Mr. Beast was like, hey guys, Squid Games. Also, I'm opening a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's just so interesting, like, how, like, when you look at business, how if you don't know everything, you can get absolutely just, like, I hate to say it, schmeckledorfed. Because, I mean, have you seen all those scams that people are coming out with now, where they're offering you a job and you think you got a job, and then you show up to a place, then it wasn't really a job, but you had to pay like $300 to get in, and now you're just sitting there looking at a abandoned warehouse and no one's coming.
Hey, you talking about that Hustlers University right there, buddy?
Yep.
That actually sounds like something that a friend of mine had to deal with recently. Like, it was supposed to be a work at home job, and they send him a check that was supposed to be for what, like $1,000 or something like that, to buy all the things that he needed. But actually, it was a person who wanted to screw over their current employer, and the job wasn't real. All the pay, everything that was agreed to was not real. So the check itself bounced the moment it got cashed, because obviously it was flagged. So
Right.
So this dude, he quit a job thinking he had another job lined up, and he got screwed.
That is rough.
And this was through Indeed, man. Like, come on.
Because you got to
If you
remember,
can't trust that.
Look, Indeed and Slack are just, all they are is business casual Facebook and Discord, respectively. That's it. It's the same people on the same planet who just so happen to be on those apps. I just want you to know that. Like, there's no barrier to entry to making an Indeed. I can make an Indeed right now. You can make an Indeed right now.
Yep.
Scumbag Steve can make an Indeed right now. You know who else can make a Slack? Me. You, viewers at home, you can make a Slack right now. I used Slack once, and that was because there was a convention that we were staffing that wanted us to be on the Slack because they were so against Discord because they said Discord, they had this air of Discord was beneath them, and I'm like,
Mhm.
it's literally just Slack. Like, I don't.
Yep.
It's the same. It's like, I don't. This is just a new coat of paint, and I mean, I'm fine. I have another app on my phone now, but regardless, it doesn't seem like people really understand that they're playing with fire or what it takes to do business, whether it's getting a license, because you have to have a business license to sell things in certain states. You know, there's so many steps of the process that people think they could just jump over or circumvent. Or in the particular case of pink barbecue sauce, they didn't even know that there were steps. They just thought that they could take people's money, get their address, and send it, which in most cases isn't necessarily a terrible idea.
Hey, bro, hustle culture. Start your own business. You know, be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, but here's
be
the thing:
your own boss.
The way she's claiming to do it, I don't even know if she thinks she had to pay taxes on it. Like, you know, like, this is a good and or service. Uncle Sam is gonna want their cut. And I don't even know if she's putting tax on the goods themselves. Like, you know, there's so many things you gotta think about, bro.
If you send me, you know, the money through PayPal, and then you say that I'm your friend,
it's a gift, and it's a friend.
You know, then I don't have to pay taxes. There you go.
And it's like, you can do that up to a certain amount of times, but then it's like, how many friends you got, bro? How many friends? What type of GoFundMe shit is this?
Well, you know, PayPal doesn't care about that. So
I mean, she would have been better off doing a GoFundMe and then just sending out the people who backed it.
Probably, yeah. That would have been easier, because then she could have been like, oh, these are the expenses for how to like make it and ship it to, you know, X amount of people.
But the thing is, you don't get any short-term profit from that. Because somebody wants to re-up for seconds. Now you're actually going to have to use that money to actually go out, get a business license, do all that other stuff. And, you know, I just don't know if they had the resources or the facilities for that at the time. They said they're going to go back to the drawing board. Let's see if pink sauce resurfaces in like, what, 3-4 months. Let's see if they get things right and right the ship.
It looks disgusting, man. Like, oh, why?
Oh, no, it looks putrid. It looks like Pepto-Bismol on a piece of meat. I'm not disagreeing with you. But what I'm saying is, if they try to bring it back, because let's be honest, seeing something like that on your food with that type of coloring and the fact that the color is very distinct and it has a high contrast with most, you know, obviously well-cooked dark meats. You know, a content creator is just chomping at the bit to get their hands on the sauce just so they can make content with the pink sauce.
What's up, YouTube? It's me, Food Guy here. I'm actually here with the pink sauce.
So and that'll probably be their most viral video in their entire videos ecosystem, which, once again, it sucks when things are just there for content creator bait. But I'm almost certain there's someone who couldn't get their hands on the pink sauce and literally just went to the store and put Pepto-Bismol on their food, and they just pretended like they had the pink
YouTube?
Sauce.
It's your boy J Station again. You know, I actually got on the dark web to get myself some of that pink sauce
at 3 a.m. You gotta put the 3 a.m. in the title, man. That's the only way they know it's him.
Yep.
And the other thing, right, is like when you talk about, you know, things being sold, especially with online commerce, you know, influencers being able to, you know, push people into buying things. Why do you think Raid Shadow Legends, NordVPN, and all these other people, or Raycon, will find every YouTuber they can get their hands on and say, hey, shill this? Why? Because even though everyone has a wallet, a lot of people don't even carry cash anymore. They're still going to find a way to put a Ridge wallet in your head. At least the thought of, get the Ridge wallet. Even if their audience is quote unquote to broke people, they will still be like, get yourself a Ridge wallet. You may only got one card, but it looks nice, comfy, safe.
Ridge wallet. And they'll pay the creators dog shit to, you know, promote things that way too. Why? Because they assume that the creators don't know their worth. They don't know what this company is worth. They don't know how much money they should be getting from this exchange.
Or my personal favorite, the content creator has actually never actually used or even seen or touched the product at hand, but the check cleared. So, hi, I'm MFC and I'm bringing you yet another banger. But now, a word from our sponsor. Are you tired of your trash ass AirPods? Are you saying that Beats by Dr. Dre aren't up to snuff? Well, why don't you get your, and this is their favorite go to line right here, get your favorite flagship spec for cheap,
Mm-hmm.
ugly, very, I'm sorry, attempting to wink at me, for cheap. See the wink, see the eye movement, but for cheap head buds, because they won't call them headphones and they won't call them earbuds. They call them headbuds. Here at Raycon, like, come on, man, like the grift is at an all time high. People just trying to hustle harder than anybody has ever hustled before. But you want to know who they're not going to out hustle?
Who?
Andrew Tate.
Yeah,
You're not gonna out hustle that man, ladies and gentlemen.
that's
That
right.
guy,
He's a top G. He's not even human. Top G. Top G.
yeah, top G fam, top G. There's been nobody who is able to facilitate the movement better than Andrew Tate. But being honest, I've heard a lot of Andrew Tate's takes, and like, you know how they say a broken clock can be right twice a day. We're at
Yeah.
a point now where like he's kind of like Uncle Ruckus in the Boondocks. Like there are oftentimes nuggets of truth in the things that he says, but the underlying main part of the message is some weird degenerate cap.
Gish galloping.
Like it's real like you could see that there's some common sense somewhere sprinkled within what he's saying. But then when he punctuates the point, you're like, oh, we have jumped the ship. We have jumped the shark.
That's on purpose too, because
It's all part of the like. That's how you get people to get suckered in. Like you could
he's
say something that has some, tangible, sensible things, and then you bring someone to peek in, and then that's when you pull the rope because you got them.
Yep.
They got curious. Now they're sucked in, and now they're touting whatever it is you say. Like this whole manosphere culture thing. That's how you get indoctrinated in it. Like, I'm not saying that everything the manosphere has ever said is 100% wrong and it's all cap. But there's a lot of big issues that they like to punctuate. And it's like, well, how did we get here? Like, there are some people in the manosphere that we've seen. We've seen the clips. You've been on Twitter. You guys know what we're talking about. Where they're basically just like, a woman shouldn't have the right to go out and be herself and have friends. She should live at my pace and my pace alone. If I want to go out and chill with the boys and go on vacation, then I have every right to go ahead and do that. But if your girls want to go out, you stay at home because I didn't permit it because she's my property. And it's like, wait, whoa.
And also, girls' nights mean she's gonna go out there and suck a random dick.
And it's just like, and then it's just like, so you saying that girls can't go out because like you don't trust your girls? Like, no, I trust her. But if I were to leave my car in a parking lot unlocked and then someone takes it, that was irresponsible on my behalf. And I'm like, so you are equating women that you date
Your
to
property.
property. Like they're just something that you own, like an inanimate
Non-sentient
object.
sentient property with no brain power, no cognitive function, no ability to reason or commit any sort of loyal action.
They have no bodily autonomy. Like they're just 100%. You
Yep.
agree to the contract of you are Andrew Tate's property when you adhere to this relationship. And it's just really weird that that's where the conversation goes. Because I don't feel as though it needs to pivot that far, but somehow it often does when you're dealing with people who are in the red pill manosphere verse, whatever you want to call it. Because like you'll often hear them say things like, women shouldn't lead. Women shouldn't do this. Women shouldn't do that. They should just fall in line. And it's like the same rhetoric that we've heard from like the 1940s and 50s of, just go ahead and lie on your back and pop out a baby and make sure the house looks good.
Hey,
Other
man,
than that,
and do you know
if
how
I
they
provide
explain
for
that
you,
though?
let's hear it. Talk to me.
They explain that by saying, well, it worked so well back then. Why would we change things now? Why shouldn't we conserve the way things were previously because they all worked that way, right?
Well, here's the thing about that, right? Because you got to understand, we always talk about, but America was great back then, and it's just like, look, yeah, I don't know if you guys can see right here,
Mm-hmm.
my forehead, or my cheekbones, or
Mm.
maybe my hand, or maybe if you take a look at this guy right here, you will know that that era that y'all talk about being the golden years of America. Yeah, people like me were getting chased by dogs, being dragged by chains in the
And it
back
was
in the
legal.
South, and there wasn't really too many people looking out for good old us, you know. Not to mention people like we had people who were firefighters putting the hose on us. Like
And it
you gotta
was legal.
understand, these are not what we would call good times for people who look like us, and not only and on top of that, right? People act like, oh my god, but that was 60 years ago. Once again, my dad
Not
is
that
80
long
years
ago.
old. He was born in 1940, which means when he was a teenager, it wasn't even 57 yet. It wasn't even 1960. When it was 1960, right? When it was 1960, he was a 20-year-old man.
Yep.
Let me say that again. When he
Oh.
was 20 years old, it was just now 1960, right? Do you know when us, people who look like me, were able to get to vote? Do you know when we got to get to vote? My dad was 25 years old, which means over a quarter of his life, he was living in an era where his father, his father's father, his friends, his older cousins and older siblings didn't even have access to the right to fucking vote.
And you know what? After that, these same talking points that are being used by the manosphere to say this is, this is how women are, this is how they act, but this is why you should like have control over them. They were being used casually, mind you, about black people, about minorities in general. Like shit, man, you could literally look up Malcolm X being on like talk shows having to explain to white people that black people are not inferior and that all this stuff, all this alleged like science, all this pseudoscience about how their brains are smaller and all that other bullshit is nonsense, and that them being prone to aggression is nonsense.
So
And
here's the whole thing about all that nonsense that they like to perpetuate when they talk about these things. So most of you understand how a competition works, right? Let's just say, oh, I don't know, a time trial, a race, if you will. Now, let's say I put shackles, nails, super glue your body to the ground, and I say, all right, on the count of 3, we're going to run a quarter mile. 1, 2, 3. And I just take off running, and you're stuck there. You finally get off all the dirt, and you see that my lane is clear. You get off the dirt, you pry out the nails, you get a chance to recovery. You're done with the race. You've already set up your architecture, your structure, all of that. And I just have to look on as an onlooker, as someone who's basically ancestral ties, where we were brought here without any sort of, say, so to speak. And if you guys have already built all the infrastructure and we've just been sitting in the back because we were forced to be put down, and let's be honest, you guys have a university system. You guys are educating folks. You guys are letting people, what's that word? What's that word? Yes, you were letting people get educated. You guys were making sure that their schools were top notch. You were making sure that we were able to put people and invest into obviously yourselves. It wasn't until 1954 where we even got a chance to even go to schools where white people were.
here,
So like, you guys have had an immense head start. Oh my God, my dad was a teenager before he could even go to school. Like, whew. And keep in mind, these people are still alive, by the way.
mm-hmm.
And some of them will still be alive for another 15, 20, 30 years, by the way.
We'll see.
So let's not act like we're so, well, we all may be dead before then. Have you seen the sun? It's
yeah.
And did you see what happened to the UK, bro? They were getting RKO'd over there for a couple
fire,
weeks.
man, on fire.
Superman was like heat beam. Like it was not looking good, man. But like I said, these are people who are still alive today. Did you know that there are people who were born before they were allowed to vote? Black people, by the way. Minorities, by the way. Before they were allowed to vote, who were born and they still aren't old enough to collect a senior citizen check yet? That sounds impossible. But there are people who were born in an era where people who look like me couldn't vote, and they're able to get senior citizen checks? Excuse me, they're not even able to get senior citizen checks yet? And you mean to tell me that these people who are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, who are, let's be honest, very close to being born in that era, or in fact born in that era, who are allowed to run for political office and are up for re-election during the midterm elections this year, and you're telling me that you're not a little bit worried? Like, y'all people say that, like, oh, these people are so far removed from politics because they died decades ago. Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
But here's the thing.
You want to know what? Wait, hold on. Before we go, I just want to say, do you want to know an event that happened in the same year? Shadow the Hedgehog came out. You know Shadow the Hedgehog, the video game, right?
Yeah.
You want to know? You want to know what's happened in the same year Shadow the Hedgehog came out? Rosa Parks died.
Hello?
What I'm saying is the people who we hear about in the books, it's not like they died, like, outside of being assassinated, it's not like they died 30, 40 years ago. She was 3 years away from seeing Obama. To put it in perspective, it's wild how people seem to think that racism is this bygone byproduct of an era that we haven't seen in like centuries. There are people who are alive today who have lived it during its pinnacle. But I digress. Push forward. What do you got to say?
Look. the thing about it is that okay, what was I thinking? Okay, so there was I believe it was the Philippines. There's like a huge leader who was basically like a dictator, and he had a child. He's dead apparently. His son, decided that he wants to run for office, and the schools have literally taught alternative facts about this man's reign and just tried to gaslight the new generation into believing that this man was actually not that bad and that the old history books were just, lies and propaganda and whatnot. And because these kids did not grow up during the era, when these things were happening, they had no frame of reference. And so they were believing these new books until actual human beings gave them footage and proof that was like, no, it was awful. Look, this woman right here, she was imprisoned for literal years just because she was next to a protester during that era, and she just got out maybe 3 years ago. You know what I mean? It was that sort of thing, and they had to talk to those people in order for the kids to understand that this man was a tyrant. This is the exact same strategy that's being used by people like Andrew Tate when it comes to this whole manosphere thing, how to treat women, how to get women, how Hustlers University works. Oh, it's not an MLM. It's not a multi-level university scam or whatever, blah, 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 right? And that's why he goes on, like Aiden Ross's stream, or like, was it Clem, random, 17-year-olds stream and things like that, because those kids don't have a frame of reference to understand that all these things that he's doing and saying have been done and said before by other grifters and scam artists. And people are like, that's trash and that's fake. We know what it is. Get away. The kids will be like, damn, he's spitting facts. He's really hitting my feelings with that, because, these scam artists already know the techniques to say and do something that will manipulate someone into feeling like it's true, or like, like they know what they're talking about. Whether it's, his demeanor, his whole confident, like, sense of self, making it seem like everything he says is true, even when he is telling you that this is the Matrix and that this is a simulation and that he is above human beings.
I have a question.
Because he's a top G.
I have a question about Mr. Top G then.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about his OnlyFans pimping days?
They're still happening. And you want to know how he...
I'm saying, like, how do you feel about it? Because we're gonna get there. Because I know I'm probably gonna bring up Romania in a second. But
It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense that he's just like, well, no, these are my women, So if my woman decides that she's gonna, do OnlyFans, then I should get all the money. And it's like, that's a pimp. Sir, there is that's prostitution. Even though the OnlyFans is legal, it's like the concept of you taking the money instead of, the content creator getting the money, uh very possibly not legal.
hey, when you're in Romania, you got it like that, bro.
Yeah, sex trafficking. That's it's sex trafficking. It's the grooming and the sex trafficking and all that stuff that all the conservatives have been trying to tell people the LGBT community has been doing, or that drag shows are doing and all that shit. When really it's the dude who's trying to target your 16-year-old son and tell him how to get girls. Like by paying what $10, paying $100, plus a month to be a part of these courses. That's just a man
I
babbling about his experiences.
to be fair, he does have a very interesting take on why he lives in Romania. I don't know if you've heard this one, but he likes Eastern Europe as a whole because corruption is far more accessible. Now, I feel like this is one of those just gaslighting grift messages. Like, he doesn't really believe that, but he's saying that because obviously it's going to get more clicks and it's going to get more eyes, and therefore more people are going to be talking about him. I mean, look, here we are. Guilty. But Tate said that he enjoys how being able to buy off cops and other law enforcement officials so they do not infringe upon his business operations and personal habits means that, you got it made in the shade as long as you got that coin.
Yeah. Why would
It's
you?
got
Need
my
the shade, though,
my man
sir?
moved to Gotham City and said, "I'm about to be the Penguin, bro."
That's what I'm saying. It's like, why would you need that though? Is that not a red flag? Shouldn't you be on a list, sir? Like, what are we really talking about here? Are you trying to have me like turn the other eye to what you're doing? Anybody who's like, yo, don't look at me while I do this really quick. It's like, what are you doing? Now I have to be concerned. If I look, if I was just minding my business and then one day you sent me a text that was just like, look, man, don't come to my house at 5 o'clock. All right. Between 5 and 7 p.m. Don't come to my house because whatever I'm doing, it's not illegal. All right. Immediately I'm going to be like, all right, now I have to go, or now I have to, figure out whether or not you're setting me up or something, because that is not what regular human beings do when they are innocent. So,
Hey, look, as we've seen time and time again, a lot of successful people, they crazy. And their craziness is what has driven them to some form of success. Because you got to be a little bit crazy to really reach the upper echelon of life. Like, you can't be on the normal everyday beaten path. Like, that's a very rare success story.
Well, yeah, because you're working all the time, and you're losing sleep, and when you're working and you're losing sleep, some people can't handle that.
But just because we say that someone's crazy doesn't mean it's always the bad crazy. But this right here, like when you talk about buying off law enforcement with your whole chest, like just saying that phrase alone, you up to no good.
It's just
like case in point, like that's not a good person that's talking, right?
exactly. But the kids don't know, because what is it? He comes on Aiden Ross's stream and he is like, he's basically saying his spiel about being a beta male, or being not being a beta male and all that shit, and then he decides that he's gonna start going into all these rants about how the government is lying to you, the Matrix, all that shit, and then you get chatters who are just like, damn, this man is spinning, or hey, I've never heard of this guy until he came up on this Aiden Ross stream, because I love Aiden Ross. That's my guy. Me and him, we're 22. That kind of
Oh
shit,
god.
right? And so then those people look up Andrew Tate. They do more of like what Andrew Tate is talking about. They follow his ideology, and that's that. But even like people who were involved in the stream with Aiden Ross are like, yeah, I didn't know about this dude until you brought him on here or whatever. It was really nice talking to him. He seems like a good dude. Why? Because when someone actually points out that this man has like a bunch of charges. He's got some like very controversial takes. He's got some like things that might be worrisome that need to be addressed. He's just like, oh, so you're just one of those people who just listens to the internet and then lets the internet tell you what to think, blah blah. And it's like, well, immediately, at least with younger people or stupid people, they're like, well, I'm a free thinker. No, 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 no. Nobody tells me what to think. No, sir. What are you talking about? I'm not one of those people. I don't listen to the internet. I don't even like the internet. I'm gonna
Bro,
delete my Instagram account right now.
But some of these interviews get like super cringe, and it almost seems like mad inflammatory for like no reason. Like for example, let's say you and I were one of these debates, and I'm red pill guy, and then you would say something like, oh, well, I just believe that, a woman is like, and then I just say, now let me cut you off right there, sir. You're over here talking about, oh, well, that's what makes a woman valuable. Well, actually, I could tell just by the state of your living dwelling. Like, look in the background. You have pictures of a whole bunch of women that you want that will never touch you. And guess what? They're all white women. Look at everybody on that wall. White woman,
right.
white woman, white woman, white woman, white woman. I'm sorry. Are you a coon?
That's
I'm sorry.
Right.
Have you activated your coon chip?
SJW, leftist beta male. You see, when people hear those terms, they're like, "Oh no, I don't want to be a virtual signal." Those people are terrible. It's like, bro, people are just using words.
Or my personal favorite, because it's all clickbait, especially with things like TikTok. You could just take a bunch of their clips where they're saying relatively normal stuff, very stuff that's on the up and up, and then cut the clip. Just cut the clip. Post it. Oh man, this dude's based. This dude gets it. This dude's real. This dude's got it. This dude is amazing. This dude is really.
He drinks sparkling water to make himself feel like more fancy, feel rich, so that he can make more money. Wow, I vibe with that so hard. And like right after that clip ends, he's just like, yeah, that's right.
Oh, my personal favorite,
regular water, because you're a beta.
Now hold on. My personal favorite, right? This is my personal favorite, right? Here we go. My personal favorite thing. When they go straight up. Right? They look you dead in your soul, and then they go. They cut it to black and white.
No, not the black and white.
They cut themselves at a 45-degree angle like this, and then they just start saying, the grind is always tough to start, but once you get in motion, you can carry that momentum. You'll always find a way to push to the top. There's all those people who are saying that you can't stop, that you won't be able to finish, that you'll never see the light of tomorrow. And then for whatever reason, right? What do they do? What do they do on TikTok? They go ahead and find royalty-free inspirational background music, and they just play that in the background. And you got to find what's deep in your soul, and you got to grind. You want to sleep? Nah, 24 hours in a day. You might need 8 to sleep. You 8 to go to work. That leaves you with 8 left to play with. You got to eat. You got to shower. Where's that time investment? You got to pull it from other things, but never let it pull away from your dream. Because when you chase the dream and the goals in sight, what else are you going to do to end your play? You don't quit. You don't lay down. You don't walk away. Some people say, yeah, you got to know when to hold them. Others say you got to know when to fold them. Some even say you got to know when to walk away. Some will say you got to know when to run. But we're men. We aren't scared of anything. We built this country. We built society. And what have women done for us lately, after all, huh? Nag? Claim that they could do everything that we could do, but better and more efficient? I don't see a woman on our dollar bills. I don't see a woman on our coins. It doesn't say in OnlyFans we trust. It says in God. In this Christian nation. Steve Harvey, 2019. And like, they really be saying that stuff, man. They really just be out of pocket for no reason.
Look, dude, it's just so man, I'm starting to forget what I was even gonna say, because you went on that long ass spiel about the
hey man, I had to teach you, man. They give you 3-minute TikToks now.
Oh,
hey, some people got 10-minute TikToks.
I got it back. So like, this is why clout chasing culture is like a little too like one, it's a little too popular. Two, is kind of getting out of hand. Mentioned like Aiden Ross and like the Fortnite kid and all that. All those streams usually they have like their wild friends or their friends that they put on who like can't even buy like a can't even turn on a fucking light in the room, and then they're just like, yeah, bro, that shit is crazy, bro. Oh my god, bro. Yeah.
The dick eating is insane.
Absolutely. And then when you say, yo, bro, you're sucking his dick a little too hard, it's like, yo, everything is about dick eating with you, man. This is crazy, man. And it's just like,
well, no, like
all those theatrics,
we
all that shit is to get people hype to be like, oh, the nigga's going off now. Oh, the drama. Oh my god. But
like you
in
see it with a lot
reality,
of these
those dudes don't
podcasters,
have
bro.
beef. Yeah, and like these content creators, just like that's their whole thing. So when someone like Andrew Tate gets on, they hype him up so that they can get their numbers, and then it becomes like a circle jerk of nonsense, and like everybody gets stupider after this whole thing is ended. You know what I mean? And for what? For the game, the bag, like.
Bro, it's like when everybody in their like, I'll give you a perfect example. I'll give you a perfect example of people not minding their own business and how people got by every party benefited from the clout from it. You ready?
Yep.
Everybody and their grandma was trying to make videos talking about Pokimane is racist and she's got beef with Gideon and Gideon hates Pokimane, and everybody was doing their damnedest to try to get some clout off a little nugget of truth that lied within the internet about the drama that spawned between them. And then what did we see? It wasn't even like 3 days
Chick-fil-A
later.
Together.
They over there eating Chick-fil-A. They over here chopping it up. They're at each other's house.
Yeah.
Brother. Like, but the beef was just so real that clout will never be the same again. Like, come on, brother. Like, what are we doing, nonsense, y'all?
And like the thing about that kind of like that kind of content, that kind of culture, whatever you want to call it, is that it gives people like Tate or any other like grifter like an out, because what happened when he had an actual debate with somebody who knew their shit, wasn't the fucking 21 and could actually say like, yeah, I got girls, too. Like I actually get girls right now. I can actually show you videos of women who are, simping for me, that kind of shit. What happens when he gets cornered with all that information? Oh, this guy, he's obsessed with me. Or, oh, this guy's fucking boring. You see, stream the stream doesn't want you here because you're boring, talking about facts and whatnot. No, we're not here to talk about facts. We're here to talk about like society and the real stuff, because the facts aren't real until they're the facts that support me.
Hey man, everyone talks about science and data when it backs up their argument, but once science and data turns the tides, and now
that's the internet.
You?
The internet is against us.
Man, you can put anything on the internet, bro. Now let me show you this research project from the internet right here that backs what I say. Like, come on, bro. Then you go look at it, and it's like, so what's the source of this? And then the source is, I'm Twitter user 8,437,237. Yep, that's me. I'm the source.
Or here's my counter argument. My source of being against you is a random Twitter guy who said some like wild shit to me, like women are gonna rule the world and they're gonna eviscerate all men, blah blah blah. And it's like, nobody cares about that person. You know what I mean? Like, there's never someone in the room who's just like, that's cool, this person said that, but that's one person, and that person, we could literally just say that person is deranged. They don't account for the majority.
The one thing I hate about the internet, since you brought up the word majority, is I hate the word a lot, because I can't say a lot and I can't say many anymore. Because if I say a lot, people automatically in their head translate that to meaning most, and it's like, no. If we have 1 million people and 250,000 say something that's wild, I'm like, yo, a lot of people think this. Doesn't mean most.
Sure.
That's just a quarter. But there's still a lot of people that are out there that think that. Especially, and some people would say, but that doesn't mean anything if it's just a lot and it's not most. And it's like, yeah, it does. Have you seen Twitter? 3 dumb people who all have the same dumb opinion now think that their opinion is validated because it is backed by others. Even if they're wrong and they're technically in the minority, if a lot of them congregate and gather together, trust me, things don't go too well. I mean, hell, there's somebody, I forgot what website it is, but like they made content out of hate rates. Hate rates isn't most people. But it was enough of them to where they were making content about it and laughing at other people's expense.
Cozy TV?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's Nick Fuentes' streaming site. Nick Fuentes, the Nazi, the actual like Nazi. So that's who you're on board with, and like that place is just mostly banned streamers who are banned for wild shit, and I don't know how people get into this like thought process, but like some people will hear that a streamer got banned and then be like, well, why aren't you mad at like Twitch or whatever for banning you? And even if the streamer is like, I mean, I was kind of wild. They're just like, nah, man, what are you talking about? But like the system is against you. They shouldn't have banned you. Freedom of speech. And it's just like, okay, go on Gab, go on Parlor, go on all those other websites that like say free speech and see what happened to them when they actually were just like no restrictions on what you can do, say, etc. See what shit, see how they are now. They they still have some like wild shit that's on there, and you're just like, they should be able to say that because freedom of speech, because I don't know how the Constitution works and I don't know how the laws work or the system works. I just want to say that it supports me, because freedom of speech means I can say anything, right? I can say and do whatever I want, right? It's got freedom in the name.
I don't know. Like I feel like people don't understand what free speech is because like people don't understand when you sign up on like Twitter, YouTube, like there's a terms and conditions page that
Sure.
you don't read, but you accept it. You opt in.
And they
So when
say like you can't do or say these certain things, and if you do, we have the right to ban you,
and
suspend you, etc.
free speech is only a limitation and a sanction on the government.
Here.
And when you're on the World Wide Web, all the governments they have different rules that conflate with each other and conflict with each other. So it's just because we have free speech, right? If you lived in China and you started popping off about Chinese officials on Twitter, they might find you in a pack.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to make calls to your family that sound like an automated robot voice. Nothing has happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I am safe. It's rough. It's
And
truly
like,
rough.
we got to get past this thing where people think the world is black and white when literally the real world is gray. Everything is gray. The when you tell somebody about like the middle ground, about the center, about how like not every situation is like yes or no, it's maybe, things like that, they act like you're like some kind of crazy person, or they're like, oh, you're a cuck and you're just rolling over for these people and not getting
Not
what you
kung
want and shit.
fu cuck, man.
Exactly. So like, you fucking try to explain to someone that it's not either China that is censoring you completely when you say your opinion, or being able to say everything, including like the N word, the S word, whatever nonsensical words that are out there, like saying whatever you want about who you want whenever you want. It's not like it has to be one or the other. It has to be in the middle of that. Like it has to be something that's neither of those things, because otherwise this world would be fucked up and it would be impossible to live through here without people getting like like fucked up like all the time. It would be chaos all the time. And some people want to thrive on chaos because they're weird or they're bored. But
I've never understood the mentality that comes along. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like
it's boredom.
no,
Look,
I get that you could say, oh, it's boredom, blah, 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 but like, is it though? Like, is it really boredom? Like, I just feel like it's
I mean, it's got other things mixed in it, but like when it comes to people who are like mad edgy, they're usually just fucking bored at home and they're like at their computer and they have uh, unlimited resources on the internet to just do and say whatever, and like they thrive on the drama. Because why? Because the dopamine hit of seeing that someone reacted an extreme way, or reacted to something that you did or said, whether it's good or bad. And most people end up getting to that point where they're like, negative reactions are more common, so I'm just going to focus on the negative reactions. No one's going to like tell me that they liked my food or whatever, but they'll definitely tell me that they hate me for saying the N word about about my food, or some shit like that. So when you have those like weird like 14-year-olds who will post like gore porn or like scat
Oh
and stuff like
Lord.
that, you know what I mean? They're not doing that because of some like weird deranged thought process about how the person's gonna react. They're just like, ha ha ha, well, I really just want someone to like entertain me. I want someone to freak out really quick so I can laugh. So if I send them this, they're gonna, do it. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, ha, ha, "Yeah, see." And then, I get my 5 seconds of dopamine, and then I can go somewhere else to get something else. I mean, that's
Yep.
why gotcha and like, loot boxes and shit are so fucking good, dude. Because you give those kids something like that and they have something to entertain them that's gonna give them that rush as much as possible. There's a reason Skyrim became like super popular super fast and is still popular now and has like 10 billion versions along with GTA 5. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, what do you think? Like, what do you think is the reasoning behind them doing these things? If it's not like, related to their boredom or loneliness sometimes, according to them just wanting
Look,
some kind of reaction from people.
look. I'm no therapist, but I'm convinced that a lot of people, especially when you talk about things of sexual nature, I truly believe that they're interested in these things, but they try to make it their personality because online, if you talk about, hey, I'm, let's go for instance, a furry, or I'm this. For some reason, there are a lot of people who are over eager McBeaver who are willing to latch onto that. And then that's the first way they have actually found a genuine connection in any way, shape, form, or facet in their life. And then they're in there.
I mean, yeah,
So like
but that
once
also
that,
comes from the loneliness part if
no, I
it's
get you. I
defensive.
agree with you. I'm just trying to explain
Okay,
how
yeah.
it happens because like it's like I agree, but like at the like I don't feel as though it's like they're bored. I feel like they do have a genuine interest in whatever it is, or it was something that was kind of an interest. And then when more people, when you get into the echo chamber of you're in a fandom, you're gonna start to being led to believe that it's more normal,
Mm,
and therefore, if you make it your personality and people really start digging you because of it, you don't have to worry about being a good person as long as you continue to like that thing.
yep.
And boy, we have seen that a lot with YouTubers a lot as of late, haven't we? Like just
That's what
influencers in
sucks
general.
about like the content creation like game is it like okay, it sucks for the content creation game because of the way fads work now. Something is popular for uh 3 to 7 days at most, and then you have to be on to something else. And if you're someone who's trying to get like, reaction content or like drama or like whatever, you're trying to get like the big clicks, you really gotta change your topic every day and put out something every day that can basically give people what they want when they have some sort of like event happen. Pink sauce, definitely not going to be talking about pink sauce in like 2 days because something else is going to happen. I mean, shit, Joe Biden got COVID and then he's like, I have a negative test in like 5 days. 5 days. So if you made a video on Monday that was like Joe Biden has COVID, guys, oh my god, what's going to happen, he might die or whatever, and then you release that video on Thursday, it's already too old. That's absolutely insane. And nobody wants to watch something that's really, really old unless it's like a specific topic from a specific person that they already like. So, or unless it's like controversial, like, like the Kramer video of him saying the N word to that one guy in the, what is it? I don't remember the Laugh Factory, I think is where it was at. But like, it's really got to like, it's got to hit people like every single time. And it's got to be like, you got to appeal to that every day or like every week at the very least in order for people to like keep paying attention to you enough to feel like a loyalty towards you or to feel like they know you and like want to like hear whatever you have to say, which
Right.
is That is mentally taxing. And only now are some bigger content creators being like, yeah, this shit really kind of put me in a hospital. It's
Like,
like I may have millions of followers and whatnot, but I almost died several times.
yeah, because then you have like, I don't want to necessarily say they're chasing the high for the content, but like you have these people who are stuck. Like there's a YouTuber named Flats who, yes, like Flats the flounder, but Flats is a Overwatch content creator, and like this man was like pulling out his hair trying to figure out like, well, if Overwatch, Overwatch 2 is a flop, like what if they don't do, like I'm gonna have to come up with a different way to like do content, like I'm gonna have to pick another game, and I'm like, I never want to be in a position where I have to choose a video game to sell my soul to, otherwise my YouTube channel just dies. Like imagine you're like, let's say you're a fighting game player and like you're known as like the best, you're the best Ken of all time, greatest Ken. All of a sudden a patch comes and Ken gets shot. He's now the worst character in the game. And now you're like, man, this current build of the game, all these other characters are so oppressive and my character can't do anything. But like my whole brand is based off of being the Ken player.
Yep.
It's like, now you're cooked. Now you're smoked.
I mean, that's a fighting game problem. And now at this point, the fighting game problem is that it's not even game to game. It's like patch to patch.
Right? I mean, look at
Which is
Dragon Ball
why,
Fighters. There's people who love themselves some DBFZ.
And
And then
you
what
got to
happened?
play a different team like every other day.
That what you say that everyone just ended up like their teams just started finding themselves in packs after packs after packs, and we ain't talking about PAX East.
Yep.
So I don't know. Like I feel like it just kind of sucks. It's kind of whack. But you do. I guess you do what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah, you do, but
Like content creation is like one of the most stressful things because, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the TikTok that was going around, but there was a content creator that was basically saying content creation has gotten to a point to where I feel as though content creation is a mental illness because I make content and the time I spend relaxing or not making content is thinking about how to make better content.
yeah.
And if you don't have your own editor, you got to edit things yourself. Hey man, them hours add up, bro. Them hours add up. You get done with a video and it's 2 a.m., but now you got to click render. So like now when you go to sleep, it's got to render overnight. And then before you go to work, you got to get up and click upload or make the thumbnail.
Yeah, man. If you're making content and you have a job, GG's to you. Because all of them are like, well, I eventually had to quit my job, to become more dedicated to this. And that was only because of the possibility, the
Of going
likely
full-time.
possibility, yeah, of like getting, enough money to live off of it. And even then, it's not enough money. In some cases, it's not enough.
Because
I just get
workflow
by.
go crazy.
Here?
It's tough, but that is the name of the game in a lot of people's case. But hey, man, people are gonna do everything that they can to harness the pink sauce. But I guess in closing, we'll wrap up this episode with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I know there's a lot of people who are on team recast T'Challa, which is honestly what I would have preferred. But it seems like they're moving the story with a dead T'Challa. And, you got Namor over there looking very Namor-ish, and people are being more upset over the fact that, like, characters don't look one-to-one with their comic book self. They looking at it, oh, Black Panther's gonna be a woman now, and, all this type of stuff, and they're talking about Ironheart, and it's like, look, the whole Ironheart thing, right? I think it's weird because Stark's dead. So having Ironheart is gonna be interesting because she's gonna have...
Comic-wise, Ironheart showed up around the time Tony Stark died in the comics too. So like that's okay. They can like wiggle around that to make it
No,
work.
I'm not saying that they can't wiggle around that. What I'm saying is we know with the limited resources of, futuristic tech out there, unless she's coming from a rich family, like, I just want to know what her pipeline is of getting the suit. Like
Wakanda.
No, I get that. No, listen to me. I get that. I understand that. But like, how do I say this? There are too many movies where they introduce a character and it's like, oh, that character looks like they have a lot of stuff about them too. But this is the Moon Knight show. So how are we going to juggle? And then it's less about Moon Knight and And now it's about this character for a while, which is fine in a series. In a movie, I don't want this to be like Black Panther is like a side project, but this is really an Ironheart movie.
Yeah, I don't want
Like
that.
that is not what I want.
That's why it's weird that she's there. Yeah, you're right. It is weird that they put her in the Black Panther movie to be like, oh, she's here. I understand that it's because she's a black character. Wakanda is a technological like area, and that would be the place in the MCU where she could get the tech to like make it all work and whatnot. But it's weird, especially when the movie is made to be the Black Panther is gone. What do we do movie? And yeah, you mentioned being a part of the like we should like recast like camp. I'm kind of in that same club. But the only thing, okay, the one thing that puts me on the let's not recast him side is that scene in the trailer with Angela Bassett, like who's just at her like wit's
God
end.
took everything from me.
Yeah.
My
It's
whole
just like,
family's dead.
that was really good. Like that is a really good scene, and it kind of sucks that it's in the trailer, but it's it's a selling point for the movie for sure. Hopefully there are like other scenes that are like just as good or better uh, uh, to make that to warrant that being like the teaser thing. Otherwise, you've done the trailer thing where you like rob people of like a genuine moment in the movie by spoiling it. But
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now, this was before I saw Multiverse of Madness, but I honestly thought that not Multiverse of Madness, before I saw No Way Home. Like I did, like we obviously knew they were going to reset the world, but we didn't know it was going to be a reset to where no one would know who Peter was. So I know if they were interested in getting into MIT, so I thought they were going to meet Ironheart at MIT. I figured that's how they would try to integrate Ironheart because she is an MIT student. I don't know if everybody knows that, but she isn't. That's where I thought the connection was going to be. And Peter's gonna be like, oh, well, I know Star, or maybe they can still do that. I figured it'd be in a Spider-Man movie where this happens.
Yeah, but Tom Holland has like said that he doesn't really want to be Spider-Man anymore, so that's making Spider-Man hard.
I'm aware. Like, I'm aware. But I'm talking about back then. That's where I thought that would go. But obviously, that's clearly not on the table right now. Especially, he doesn't even know if he wants to do anymore. Sony has all but fucked everything that they want to do with Spider. So that's a non-issue right there.
Yeah.
And if you want to push past that and go a step further, now that Ironheart's going to be in Wakanda, is she going to be a Wakanda-born person? Is she going to be on vacation? Because remember, Wakanda did open their borders after the first Black Panther. They're more universal. So she's an MIT grad. It's like MIT going to be on like their own far from home field trip. Like, I do have questions. Like, I don't have, like I said, I don't have a problem with any of those suggestions, by the way. I'm not trying to say that the movie's going to suck based off of that. I just don't want to spend too much time on the Ironheart and not on the mythos and the entirety of, why not M'Baku? Why not this person? Why not that person? There seem to be other people who were jockeying for position to be the next Black Panther. Like, I feel more like we should know more about the political strife that took place. Was there a struggle? Was this a thing that people universally agreed to? Or is this a whole thing where Shuri just said, nah, fuck it. And she went on her own volition, built her own suit, because, I mean, she makes the suit, so she could clearly make one for herself, and then just went and just drunk from the plant and didn't tell anybody. Has she gone rogue? Has she decided, no, we need a Panther and I'll be her? Like, there's plenty of different ways you could write this movie and it'd be entertaining. That's the part I want to see. That's the investment. Like you said, Angela Bassett. Like, are they gonna let Angela Bassett? I'm getting tired of these people casting high profile actors and then not letting them do the thing that they do. That's all I'm saying.
She's definitely gonna get some like big parts in this movie because she has to be like the queen again through tragic events. So at the very least, they're gonna give her spotlight to to shine. Like the trailer showed that. But
here's the thing, though.
She did.
Here's the thing, though. Do you think they're gonna say that Namor is the one that killed him? Do you think it'll be off screen, or do you think there'll be a CGI fight where at the beginning of the movie, like, or a flashback, Namor is fighting Black Panther, but he's obviously in a suit, so you wouldn't be able to see. Then he just stabs him and he dies. Like, these are things we have to think about that they could put in this movie.
I don't want that.
Because we also don't want to hear Namor. We also don't want to hear he was poisoned. Like,
Yeah.
Look, like there has to be a way that he was sent to the afterlife. I don't want to hear there was a terrorist attack and he had to dive on the bomb and died in the explosion. Like, I don't want to hear dumb stuff like that.
It could be like the Glee episode, The Quarterback, where after Corey Monteith died, they had to kill off his character in the show. And so they had this episode that was basically dedicated to that. And most of the performances, I want to say like 90% of the performances, were just the actors reacting to the death of, this actor that they knew and loved, etc. And in the beginning of the episode, a character who was, who's like his brother, in that show at that point was like, it doesn't really matter how he died. People are asking about, speculating, etc. Basically putting that like real world commentary on it. Like, it doesn't matter how he died. It's about how he lived or whatever. So they can like circumvent having to explain why this character got killed off so suddenly. They could do that. And I'll be fine with that because this is like this is a decision that changes plans. And it's bold to go with the plan of, because he's gone, we're going to kill the character entirely rather than stick to our original plan.
Yeah, but I just don't trust the MCU. Like, I don't trust that Marvel to tell a delicate story like that. Like,
Do you trust Ryan Coogler, sir?
No, I think we're getting the CGI Namor Black Panther
Jesus
suit
Christ.
battle.
Jesus Christ.
And then it's going to cut... Then it's going to cut to Angela Bassett because she's going to see the battle and see him dying and be like, no. And then it's going to be really bad CGI and he's going to be taken underwater and we're not going to see him.
Look, man,
and they're not even going to recover the body.
Like, I also watched Eternals, okay?
Oh
I've been scarred as well, all right? I was there when, Lakeith Stanfield went from rabid deviant to I've now sucked your powers to, yes, my children, it is I, the deviant. I am one of you and you are one of me. We are brothers and sisters, but we have to fight in this eternal struggle in this life. And it was just like,
First of all, what do you mean we? And how long have you been able to talk, sir?
Now that I've stolen your powers, the powers of your friends, I am liberated. I can finally liberate my people from this endless killing, this endless circle of life that we live in.
Sir, are you a robot? I don't know, bro. Yeah, right?
Then he died. It was just like, what?
And then they did it again in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie
I
came out.
am the God Killer because gods are evil. Now, you have proven to me that all gods aren't evil, Thor, but you still must die.
There is some reports that there are some deleted scenes.
Oh, yeah,
that there was a whole plot that was supposed to like, flesh that out. Lena Headey from Game of Thrones, she was supposed to be one of the gods who like basically showed off that, why he was so mad, why the gods are awful, that kind of shit. And like there's supposed to be like montages of him killing other gods and, proving why he was doing it. But instead they were like, we got to speed this up. We got some jokes.
Hey man, we got to get the kids to be happy too. Strip Thor naked again.
Yay!
Have all the female gods go like ooh and oogle his penis while Zeus goes, I'm jealous. Put your clothes back on. Ah! The real scenes that happened, by the way.
Yeah, well, it was a movie. Hey, it was an experience, bro.
That Taika Waititi matchup in Thor is it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
Because, like, here's the thing. I don't think that the first two Thor movies are bad, but I just feel like they have a completely different tone from the rest of the MCU. Especially Dark World, because Dark World was a very... I don't know. It felt like it was very more, like, trying to be like... I hate to use this phrasing, but, like, Thor's Dark Knight.
Yeah.
But it didn't have, like, the gravitas because people weren't as invested as they were with Batman. And then, like, you know, obviously you have your whole espionage, your whole where do I stand as a god plot. Like, you have that whole thread. And then Ragnarok was like a complete 180. It was the traditional formulaic action, action, here's a big joke. Joke, 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 action. Action, action, joke, joke. Joke, joke, action, action. Let's see us out. Joke. You want to know what would be the craziest thing, though? We get a Marvel MCU, like, you know, we get an MCU movie that doesn't have a post-credit scene, and it just says, you can go home now.
That would be so great.
It'd be
Like, I
like,
would love that.
there's like, the man. Because I feel like, especially after Multiverse of Man, I feel like they're forcing some of this shit, bro. They're forcing it. It's like, but what are we going to do for the post-credit scene? It's like, nah, man, let the post-credit scene be organic, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And like, they're using a lot of them to tease the next movie. It's like, nah, man, give us more shawarma. We don't need all this other stuff, bro. Like that whole Klee thing at the end of Multiverse of Madness, they could have held that in the pocket. We didn't need to see it yet. We know we're not getting that movie for another 4 years. They could have held off on that. They could have had us wondering, bro. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll see it in the future, as I suppose. But yeah, I think the movie will probably be fine.
Same.
I hope it's better than the first movie. The first movie I thought was just like, all right, whatever. But I feel like Black Panther needs more, especially because, you know, they're going to do the whole thing that they did for Tony Stark, the whole tribute thing at the end of the movie for Chadwick Boseman. So I hope this movie is fully pushed as, nah, this is the one. That's just my hope anyway.
I mean, I hope the same, but like, I just want to know where it's going first.
Look, man, if we, because we probably will see it together, but like, if we do, don't let that scene happen. Do not let me see a Black Panther suit running away from the Na'vi from Avatar. Because I'm going to look at you and be like, well, you want to
Are they
leave
going to
now?
explain why Dana Kaluuya is not in the movie also? Is that another CGI fight?
Oh, no. Hey, they died together.
Ew.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to be out there looking at the ocean, just minding their business. And they're going to get attacked while they were on vacation. Yep.
I hate that. Like, look, I don't want to hate this movie. Okay?
I don't
That's all
either,
I'm gonna say.
but you know as well as I do. We can't trust these folks.
Good movies have come out from Marvel. All right, let's not forget this. You know, with everybody being like, "Phase 4 is a shitty phase," and how dare they? Marvel's lost its touch, and you know all that shit.
Look, of course people think
it's not
they
the
lost their
first.
touch. You had like what 4 or 5 years of building to Thanos, and once again, that's what you've done for me recently.
Okay, but some of those movies were not good.
Oh no,
All
no,
right?
no, 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 no! I'm not agreeing with this thing. I'm saying, of course, people are gonna think that because it's a what have you done for me lately? Like, you want to? All right, hold on. You know what? This is what we're gonna do to close it out. Phase 1 Marvel movies. You ready? You ready?
Mhm.
Phase 1, Iron Man, solid
Here.
movie. Hulk, mid as fuck. Iron Man 2, that movie's kind of butt. That is butt juice. Thor, mid. Captain America: The First Avenger, that was like a really mediocre action film, but it set up Captain America. But it was pretty mediocre. Then you had The Avengers. Great movie. You had 2 great movies in that, a couple of okay movies, and a couple of stinkers. Like, that was all over the place.
Yeah.
So then they hit you with Phase 2, and you're like, all right, man, Phase 2's gotta be legit. Iron Man 3, trash. Thor: Dark World, a movie that's mid, tries to do things that it was punching above its weight class. A lot of people, as far as, you know, the average moviegoer, thinks the movie sucks. I don't think it sucks, but they say it sucks. Then you have Captain America: Winter Soldier, which was all right. I liked it.
Wait, you think Iron Man 3 is trash?
Yeah, I don't like that movie. Movie was mid at best, and I feel like I'm stretching it. They
No,
were
man,
like,
I thought it was pretty good. Like the focusing on Tony's mental state after like literally
no,
about to die in space.
I get that. And like I said, I'm not saying that the movie has no positive qualities, but I feel
The
as though
twist
like,
was ass.
like the whole twist,
the ending twist.
the whole
the
twist,
ending twist.
Oh well, yeah, okay, that's ass.
The I am the Mandarin. That twist was garbage.
Yeah. Dude in a suit, and like the whole thing where it's just like, oh, don't worry, I've grown as a character. I don't need to do this. I'm going to continue to do this. Like the immediate 180, you know? And I feel like there were some cool things they tried to do, but a lot of them didn't pay off. Then you had that whole like first what that whole 25-minute section of I'm driving through the city with this kid that gets bullied a lot, who shows up again at his funeral.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're gonna do anything with that.
probably not. I hope not. There's no need to.
That man's working for Stark Industries now, and he's dating Ironheart.
All right, relax.
But anyways, back to it. Guardian of the Galaxy, good movie. Avengers: Age of Ultron. I honestly think that movie gets a bad rap. I thought it was alright. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know how you felt about Age of Ultron.
It was all right. They didn't do Ultron good enough, for
Oh,
what he
that
was
I'll
supposed to
agree.
be.
That I'll agree. That I'll definitely agree there. Then you have
I mean,
Ant-Man.
but thinking Robert California is Ultron, amazing,
Right?
amazing.
Then you have Ant-Man, which I thought was middle of the road, but I
Yeah.
think Ant-Man and the Wasp was better, but I digress. Then you have Phase 3. Phase 3, right? You have Captain America Civil War, which was essentially an Avengers movie, but they couldn't call it that.
Of course not.
I think that movie basically did everything that, most people wanted it to do.
Wait, Winter Soldier was Phase 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Doctor Strange, I think is a great movie, by the way. Guardians 2, good movie. Spider-Man Homecoming, good movie. Thor Ragnarok, it depends on where you fall in that paradigm. I thought it was middle of
yeah.
the road, but like most people either think it's one of the worst movies and it's ruined Thor, or the movie's the best movie because it's not Dark World. They have Black Panther, which I think should have been great, but it was very mid to me. Then you have Infinity War. I don't think that needs any introduction or review. Ant-Man and the Wasp, I think was good. Captain Marvel, I didn't care for it, but like the people were saying like it's the worst movie of all time. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta find a better talking point than that. Avengers Endgame, once again, decent introduction. Far From Home, I'm gonna be honest with you. Far From Home, pretty decent. And by pretty decent, I mean the story beats that it was trying to plant were good story beats. The execution for a lot of it was I don't like it. Like, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like it averages out in the worst way, but whatever. It is what it is there. And then you have Phase 4, and I'm gonna be honest with you. That was the Phase 4. You got Black Widow. That movie's trash. You're not gonna convince me otherwise. I'm sorry.
It's not completely trash. It's just
Scarlett
people-
Johansson deserved infinitely better than what she got. I will tell you that.
Sure, but like if that movie came out with Phase 2, then what would you say?
I would probably say it's trash, just like Iron Man 2.
Nah, man. Nah. The timing of that movie is why most people call it trash. That movie
Because
was
it's also
okay.
it's also about a dead character, but
Exactly. If it came out in Phase 2, it wouldn't be about a dead character. What do you say?
No, I'm saying also, like, as in like it's bad, but it also has that going against it too. But
I mean, sure.
Shang-Chi, solid movie. We agree? Solid?
Yeah.
We good?
Except for
Eternals?
the end.
Eternals, we just not gonna talk about that. We just gonna keep it pushing.
Bad.
No Way Home has the same problem as Far From Home, as in like there's some story beats in there. They're like, no, this is good. This is good for his character. But how we got there and navigated it was so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was one of those movies where it got to a point where you could just feel someone behind the camera being like, "All right, we gotta speed this up. So let's just skip some shit right now. Let's just get there."
He wants to
Let's
get into
there."
MIT, but wouldn't Doctor Strange, who was super smart, wouldn't he know that you could just like, nah, this is the only way. Oh, all right. Then you have Thor: Love and Thunder, and Wakanda Forever, which obviously isn't out. We're very skeptical. But television
Also,
series, you had WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think they're both like 6, 7 out of 10, in that range. They don't do anything amazing for me, but a lot of people do love them.
People don't love Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Okay, people love WandaVision.
I mean, yeah, they love WandaVision. They don't like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And that's because that show didn't deliver where it should have. Like, it delivered some good things and some good points, like Isaiah Thomas, and like subtly introducing his grandson as a character who could show up later and shit like that. But for the most part, it was just like a will they, won't they with Sam and the Shield, and it was like, we know you
Mhm.
will, so why are we doing this?
Like,
And
why
then
are we doing all this grandstanding? Like, we know where this goes. Like, wrap it up.
yeah, and the terrorists weren't really bad guys. It was like every reasonable person would see what they're doing and be like, yeah, like I'm on their side. What the hell? And
It's
then
like
they
we
killed
get
somebody.
it, yeah, right. And then it's like, oh well, now they're irredeemable.
It's like now they're the villains, and it's like,
Okay, so the next two I have not seen at all, so I'm completely in the dark.
hmm.
Loki, Hawkeye.
Loki's good. Hawkeye is also good, but people don't like the fact that Hawkeye is like, it's a Christmas show. It's a good Christmas show. It's like it's got a handful of things in it that are story related, which is Kingpin is alive. Also, Echo is a character, and she's getting her own TV show. So here's her backstory. Also, Haley Steinfeld. Um, but yeah, Hawkeye was good, but people wanted Hawkeye to be like some monumental, I'm gonna jizz my pants type of whatever. When it was just
For
good.
some reason, I think everybody just wanted Hawkeye show to be
Yeah,
what was he doing when he was Ronin? I don't know why. I just feel like that's the show people wanted.
they wanted a murder montage, which is just like
They
it's
wanted him to be Deathstroke.
pretty much, and that's a bad show. That's Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like come on. Also, Zemo did make Falcon and the Winter Soldier a little bit entertaining, but anyways,
And then we got Moon Knight, which I've only seen a couple episodes of, but I haven't seen anything that's like, oh, I hate this.
it was good, but like towards the end, they really like kind of shit the bed with a lot of stuff, and then they had like the cliffhanger ending
Mhm.
that could have been set up in like an episode or two prior to make it more interesting. But
And and
besides
then they
that, it was good.
and then they have Miss Marvel, which I haven't even seen trailers for. Like I literally have done nothing, no research about it. The only thing I know is the clip of what we talked about in the last episode of a mutation.
Yeah, it's good. Miss Marvel is good. It's just that it's not for adults. It's for like teenagers and maybe like younger kids. It's a show that's about a teenage girl. It's a coming of age type of show about a teenage girl, and people are confused as to how it doesn't appeal to the 30 something 40-year-old man. You know what I mean? Like it's not for you.
Oh my
And that's
god, are you
okay.
kidding me?
What?
She-Hulk comes out in 3 weeks.
Yes, it does.
Bro, I'm getting packed. I'm not watching all this, bro.
Look, you don't have to. That's the thing.
I'm gonna watch She-Hulk, and I think that's it. I think anything else I ain't watch, bro.
You can watch the other stuff whenever you feel like watching them. That's the thing about Miss Marvel that's
That's
good.
the thing,
It's
baby. I won't.
it's a show that's meant to entertain, and it is entertaining. And the like super big important thing is at the very end in the very last episode. And it's two things. It's the X-Men thing we saw, and then it's the Carol Danvers cameo that happens in the end. Like Miss Marvel disappears, and Carol Danvers like appears in her spot instead, and like a warping mechanic that's like, remember the last Harry Potter movies when they were like warping to different places.
Hmm.
It was that exact effect for some reason. And so then they say, that Kamala is going to show up again in the Marvels because it's about the Marvels. And that is going to be interesting. It'll be cool. Carol Danvers had like a new outfit, also that was really cool in the end, and Brie Larson looked pretty nice and whatnot. And, the cameo was nice. It was really cool. It was really cute. That's it. That's pretty much how the show is. It's really cool. It's really cute, and like it's got some really interesting stuff. Don't take it so like seriously. It's good. Move on. You know, not everything is going to be Loki. That's like monumental to like every single thing that's going to happen in the universe and that kind of shit. If you don't hear about Kang, then it's probably not going to be that important yet.
And Phase 5 has already been unveiled, so there's a lot of other projects to look forward to. But oh yeah, Ant-Man and the Quantum Verse is coming out at some
Yes,
point.
next
I'll
year.
go. Yeah. Next year. No. I'm gonna still go see it, but I actually like Ant-Man. His
That
movies
one
have.
is about Kang.
Yeah, no, but his movies have not been bad.
Yeah.
So strap me up for that. But that being said, I think It's a good time to call it an episode. We done marveled your head off for half an hour. If you haven't cared about Marvel, I'm sorry for the last third of this podcast. It was not.
Nah,
It,
you
it
gonna
was.
care today.
Yeah, you gonna learn. You're gonna marvel at it today. But yeah, anything you want to close them out on? You want to break it down?
Um, look, if you're stupid, admit it. Like, stop doing this weird thing where you want people to believe that you're smart or whatever. If you don't know, say you don't know. It's okay. People will accept you more if you just
Not
say I
knowing
don't
is
know.
not a crime.
It's better to not know. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to be the person who has an answer for everything. You cannot have an answer. It's all right. People will respect you more if you admit that you don't have an answer for something. Also, stop trying to steal people's money with grifts and cryptocurrency. um,
I really
uh,
hope that this is just a rumor because, boy, if you let this happen, I'm gonna laugh. Sorry, something
what?
just came across the pipeline. Google is getting ready to end their streaming service Stadia by the end of summer. So,
Yeah, as
man,
it should.
that's you love to see it, but you hate to see it.
Nah, I don't hate to see it. Get that shit out of here. Um,
Oh no, because I know my timeline's gonna go insane. My
really?
timeline is gonna be yep. People have been waiting to shit on that shit forever. They knew it was gonna close. It wasn't a matter of if, it was when.
Then they missed the bus. This sort of thing was announced like I want to say 4 or 5 months ago. It was like, oh yeah, Stadia's closing soon, and then people were just kind of like whatever. And it's been up still because they didn't announce an official it's gone date. But who's really playing it? Remember the commercials? R-
Stadia.
r- yeah, like who's playing it?
Hey,
It
we had
doesn't
a whole
matter.
episode. We had a whole episode making fun of those controls commercials, man. That shit was wild.
Yeah, if you like it, you're playing with it. If you don't, then that's fine too. Like Stadia
Facts,
is not that important.
facts. But anyways, y'all take care. Y'all have a great set of games, an even better day. I'm out, and I'm gonna go eat some chili and watch some Harley Quinn.
Hmm.
That's my plan. What about you? What's your end
Uh,
game?
I'm also eat some food and probably finish the next 2 episodes of Harley Quinn.
Oh, they just dropped the whole season. Like it's not
No, it's three. It's three. It's only three. It's a 3 pack.
okay. I was about to say, hey, yo. All right. Well, anyways, we're gonna be eating good tonight. Take care.
All right.